And congratulations on such an amazing album. This album absolutely blew me away when I first heard it, and I've been listening to it all week, so congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what you as a band wanted to achieve with this album. Did you have certain goals in mind when you first started to work on it?
Well, we actually took some time to really redefine what we wanted to do musically as a band. We decided to we took a little step back, and we try to look at our band a little bit objectively, also from the feedback that we got from the last shows and tours we did, and we realized that we really wanted to be a real symphonic metal band. So for that record, we knew from the start that we wanted to write metal, like real metal again, and because we think Wonders is quite a light album.
Yep.
And there's not so much heavy riffing in there, and we wanted to bring that back. So that was one first thing. And then we also said, okay, we're two singers, even if it's still like more. There's a bigger emphasis on the females. Bigger, it's still with two singers. So we wanted to write songs that were more duets than just you sing verse A, I sing verse B, and therefore we ended up with some songs that have a more intricate structure. We also wanted to emphasize on the theatrical aspect of our band, because we do this absolutely naturally on stage to create an atmosphere with our stage performance and everything. So we decided to write songs that also vehicle sort of the musical aspect in our music. And then we, as I said earlier, we wanted to be a real symphonic metal band. So we worked harder on the orchestrations and arrangements, and songs also. We enabled ourselves to write longer songs. Like, we didn't care anymore to stick to a specific format or so. We freed ourselves more, let's say, creative with the songwriting, with the creativity around this album.
With those goals in mind, did that then change how you went about writing the tracks? Did you become more aware of how you could make a track heavier, or how you could incorporate more of that symphonic sound when you first started to work on the tracks themselves?
Oh yeah. Michele wrote a lot of the heaviest tracks on the record, like Visions of the Seas, for instance, or Master of the Hurricane. And we once we had a clear direction, it's actually easier to canalize your creativity in a sort of way, because you know what you're aiming for. So Mick is not a guitar player, but he managed to definitely write amazing guitar riffs and end up with the songs that's already are some of our best singles now. So yeah, this was totally part of the songwriting process in itself. And there are songs that we wrote that we decided to drop and not put on the record, because we realized after all that they didn't fit our vision.
You also brought in Benmentzner as well, who does an amazing job here. Tell us a little bit about why you brought in Ben and what you felt that he brought to the music as well.
Well, it was not for the first time that we have someone playing some of the organic instruments that we write for on our album. But this time the connection was made through our producer, because we do have the same producer, us and our sponsor D'Artagnan. So the producer knew Ben extremely well. So when we said, okay, we want some bagpipes here, we want some whistles and flutes over there, we will really need someone who plays those instruments. Our producer was like, I have the perfect person for this, and yeah, it was Ben, whom we didn't know before personally, and he did an amazing job. He took the time to really try different flutes and instruments, and to make sure it really fitted the atmosphere of the song. he revisited some of the melodies a little bit so that they feel more natural, being played for real. Because of course, when you use a fake instrument, as for the demo, you can make that flute play whatever notes, but in reality, a lot of instruments are actually limited. So yeah, and we can really tell the difference. I mean, we have the demos and we have the real version, and his talent really brought the tracks to the next level, definitely.
So that leads to an interesting question. With so many different instruments being used on this album, with flutes and bagpipes and instruments like that, who makes the decision which instrument is used where? Do you sit down and discuss that as a band, or do you kind of trust your producer and trust Ben to know the right instrument to bring in on different tracks?
No, it's when we write the tracks itself, we hear this is an organ, this we want a bagpipe. You know, you write a melody with the instrument in mind because you hear it. You hear now this we want this we want a theme on the bagpipes, and then you write the theme and you put a fake bagpipes, and then you send the track to Ben and he plays the real bagpipe. So it's all coming from the songwriting. It's at the core of the songwriting. Here, this theme is on the flute because we hear it in our minds, in our imagination, as a flute being played. So that's why we write a flute theme.
Awesome. So I probably should have asked this earlier on, but where did the idea come about for this album to center around pirates? It's such an amazing album, and it comes from such a great theme. Where did that idea come about making the album about pirates? Is that something that you've always been fascinated with?
Well, to be very honest, I've always wanted to turn VOA into a pirate band since I joined in 2013. Because, you know, this band has a long history, and I always wanted to write the lyrics when I'm part of the band and as a singer. And so I was like, okay, I need to make that band and its history and its universe mine in order to be able to write for it. And I gave it some thought. I was like, okay, this has Visions of Atlantis always have this ocean related theme, which I like very much because you can do so much with oceans. It's very inspiring. So I was like, I keep that also as a respect for what the band was about. I was not gonna completely throw away what they did. So yeah, I kept the ocean related theme, and then I was asking myself, okay, so it's about oceans, and we're a metal band, and metal bands are like rebellious. You know, they're living a little bit away from the mainstream and everything. And myself, I have quite a rebellious thing inside of me too. So I was thinking, okay, who are the rebels of the ocean? And I thought, it's pirates.
Yep.
So it made super sense to me from the start to turn Visions of Atlantis into a pirate band. And actually, if you know the band from the first record I did with them, The Deep in the Dark, released in 2018, there are tracks that are about pirates. We have a track called The Silent Mutiny. We have the Swedish metal band Even East Ravages that are featuring into the Deep in the Dark video.
Yep.
So the pirate thing has always been there since I joined the band, but it's only with the heavier music and the darker feeling of pirates that we decided this is the right moment now to really really embrace the theme completely, because it's strong, because it's dark, because it's also romantic, adventurous, and yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah. You said that interest has always been there for you. Do you know where it originated? Like, was it a piece of literature that you read, or was it a film that you watched? Where did that original interest in pirates come from?
I can't really tell since when. This is something I really like. I also believe that I make my own definition of pirates, because of course I had some interviewers telling me when you said you were going to be pirates, I thought it was so negative because, you know, pirates, they're like criminals and thieves and they just are greedy and all, but this is absolutely not my vision, even though it was the case, of course. But my approach is way more like pirates as just being free people, free to explore, free to live adventures. So I think pirate resonate in me with the idea of living your own life and being free.
Yeah.
Plus going on adventures and traveling the world, which is something I absolutely love doing. So this is where I connect with pirates. Not so much about the booty hunting and assaulting other ships, but But of course, I really loved the first Pirate of the Caribbean movie when it came out. There were some adventures from Tintin. I don't know if you know that character.
Yes,
it's from a Belgian comics. Yes, with the treasure chest from specific pirates back in the day. I think this whole ocean related with people being free back in that days. Everything was to explore. I think all of this is to me quite fascinating. Yes.
Yeah, I think Australians will understand that. One of our iconic Australian heroes was an outlaw from the 1800s, and people always say, how can he be a hero? He was an outlaw. He killed people, but for some reason, Australians are just fascinated by him because he was kind of the first person to stand up to authority in Australia and say, no, I want to be like this. Wow. So, yeah, he's a person called Ned Kelly. If you ever get a chance to Google him, yeah. So, but yeah, it's always divided Australians where people are like, he's a hero, and others are like, he killed police officers. He's not a hero. But yeah, it's really, really interesting to go back and have a look at it.
All right.
So
you said Ned Kelly, right?
That's right. Yep. Yeah. So Ned Kelly.
I wrote it down.
Yep. So tell us a little bit too about the artwork on the front cover. I'm looking at it right now, and it is absolutely amazing. It's the kind of artwork that I would love to have on my wall. Tell us a little bit about that artwork and what your first thoughts were when you saw it.
Well, if you want to have it on your wall, we actually have a special edition with a huge canvas of the entire artwork from the front cover with the back cover together, because it's one piece and it's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
So yeah, if you want to add the link, this is called the Die Hard edition on Neighbor America's online shop. If you want to add the link with the poster of that interview, that could be cool if people want to grab it. So it's been done by an artist that is famous for been worked with I think Powerwolf a lot. Sophia, she's absolutely talented. She understood our idea, and our idea was that we wanted to bring action into a cover artwork, not just a landscape, not just a fixed image, but something happening. And this happening is there has been something like a battle. I don't know, ships are burning, and pirates are ready to just conquer the next shore, conquer the next harbor. And we wanted a female front figure because we're a symphonic metal band, and we're female fronted, so that made sense. And we wanted that figure to look fierce, and to also look like a real pirate with our clothes, and have other very direct pirate figures that you can instantly, okay, these are pirates, even before you can read the album title. So that was basically it. And when it came to the ambience, when I listen to our record, I hear a lot of darkness and light. It's there's a lot of that contrast and back and forth from light to darkness. And I love a painting movement that is called clair obscur in French. It's the same idea. It's like it's a super dark paintings, but there is there is a point of light in the painting. It's either a character holding candles or anything else, or like there is a sunset but with super heavy clouds, so that it creates a really intense contrast. And that's what we wanted to recreate also on that cover artwork. Well, there is light, but the sky is super heavy, and this is total direct connection to Master the Hurricane.
It certainly worked. And you talk about that with the album as well. There's a real atmosphere with this album. I noticed that you mentioned before about wanting to capture that kind of theatrical live sound, and I think that does come through. Was there a way that you went about capturing that atmosphere that we hear on tracks like Legion of the Seas?
It's just, I guess, in the way we wrote the arrangements that created that, and the way they were then performed by Lucas Noble. Like we call a real professional person who works on movie tracks to recreate our orchestrations, because we really wanted that to sound really well done and well produced. So we gathered actually an amazing team around this entire album for every specific aspect.
Well, the result is certainly amazing. I know we are running out of time very, very quickly. So before I go, I'd love to ask, what would you like to say to all of your Australian fans out there before they take a listen to this album? And what are the plans for the band now for the rest of the year, now the world is starting to open back up?
Well, if there are any Australian fans who's been writing us or asking for us to come over to Australia for shows, I want to say thank you, because for the last 2 years it was difficult to feel like a band when you're forbidden to play for so long. You know, we knew we were working on a new album, but you never know when you're going to release it, because we wanted to release it with a tour. And every time the tour got postponed, it was difficult for us to sometimes to keep hope that this would ever come back. So I know there are people who wrote it. So first of all, thank you so much. And then if you want to dive into an amazing pirate musical, metal musical, then and if you love symphonic metal, I think Pirates is definitely for you. And also, we do have plans to come play in Australia this year. It's not announced yet. It's, I think, 90% confirmed. It would be in December, and I would love that this happens, because I'm a little fascinated by Australia since I'm a kid. I'm a little scared too because of all the crazy animals there, but
well, we would definitely love to have you. We would definitely love to have you in Australia. It'd be absolutely fantastic. So we cannot wait for you to be able to hit our shores. But for now, we're going to be able to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful album. So thank you so much.